a community group is working hard to restore our night skies. The Dark Sky Friends goal is to raise awareness about the detrimental effects of light pollution.
The group advocates for responsible outdoor lighting and to protect our natural night sky. And here to share how anyone can help the cause is the founder of Dark Sky Friends, Eileen Kragie. Welcome to Great Day Washington. Thanks for being here.
Great to have you.
Yeah, this is a really interesting topic, one that I didn't know much about, but tell us how light can be problematic and be a form of pollution.
The most easiest way to think about it is when you step outside and you look up at the sky, how many stars can you see? And then it also has effects on human health. So it's been linked to cancers, breast and prostate, obesity, diabetes, heart disorders, of course, sleep disorders, anxiety, depression. They're finding links to Alzheimer's now. And it affects plants. The trees will leaf earlier, and they'll lose their leaves later. And, you know, of course, there's massive amounts of wasted energy. But what's happening is it's your circadian rhythm, that kind of internal clock. So all of us were evolved in accordance to this 24-hour light and day. So it just starts affecting
and
everything.
It's our artificial light, right? So the lights inside, but I assume like lights around your house would be even worse when we're talking about the dark sky and trying to see the stars and things, right? What is the biggest culprit here?
Well, the biggest culprit is really street lights and having unshielded ones. But every single person, you can start with your own home, because your house is affecting the nocturnal pollinators, the fireflies, things like that around your own house. And so it's up to each and every one of us to take care of the business lights, your residential lights, and then of course when we get into municipal lighting, it's really important that people plan ahead, and that the planners and, you know, our government people that are doing that or know what they're doing, because it's an expensive proposition to change the infrastructure there.
Sure, but I'm sure each one of us can do a little something to help with it. You mentioned some of the conditions that it causes in terms of our health. What are some of the other far-reaching consequences that most of us aren't thinking about or aren't aware of?
I mean, that's a great question. I think when you start looking at human health, for me, for example, I'm starting to wonder like what it's going to do to children who are growing up under bright white light. And so you look at homes, and if you always had the same level of lighting, think about the sun rising and the colors when the sun comes up, and then you come up to a really bright kind of blue white during the day, and then it tapers off at night. And so it's really important to like to notice the colors of the light.
Okay, good. I didn't turn on lights at breakfast this morning. I was kind of feeling bad for my kids. I'm like, we're kind of eating in the dark. But no, I was actually doing the natural thing.
Oh, and that reminds me, we're actually losing our night vision because we're not using it. And it takes, you know, there's estimates 10 to 30 minutes to really let your eyes get adjusted to the light. So most people, if you're coming from an overly bright place, you walk outside and you think, gosh, this is really dark. And then you're like, oh, I need more lights, right? But it's just taking that time to, you know, let your eyes adjust. And I know when you're driving down the road and you have these bright headlights now that blind you. And you're losing your night vision then. And then it takes a little bit of time to recover.
Yeah. We have about 30 seconds left. What can people do to kind of help in this cause?
The biggest thing is follow the 5 principles of responsible outdoor lighting at night. So fully shield your lights. Do you really need the lights? You want to look at the color temperature of them. Again, getting back to that warm color. You make sure they're not too bright and not using too many, and add dimmers, timers, and motion activators to them. So when you're walking out at night, you need the light to see. And you know, if you have the motion activator and and
put the dimmer
happy
on.
to talk about this. The dimmer, absolutely.
This is so interesting. Thank you today for being here. You can get more information or see how you can volunteer as well by heading to darkskyfriends.org.